The Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro is pulling a master stroke that is going to change completely the political matrix that the President and the State House team are trying to lay on table with the motion to remove the Deputy President Rigathi. Welcome to the bold analysis. The chairperson of Budget Committee in the National Assembly is a very key figure in Mount Kenya. And even before a discussion started on Kindiki to become Ruto's running mate in 2027, three names were mentioned: Kindiki, Nyoro, and Waiguru. I want us to look at this and why Ndindi Nyoro is emerging as one of the key figures in Rigathi salvage scheme, and where would that put him politically. But before that, let's take a minute and help us discharge baby Becky. Baby Becky here is an 8-year-old girl who was born with cerebral palsy. But last year in April, she had convulsions. Remember, that is just a condition that is just managed. And she was rushed to Kenyatta Hospital. She's been in that hospital for 1.5 years, since April last year, 2023. Within the time that she was in the hospital, she's been in ICU for 6 months. We thank God, baby Becky came out, but she lost her eyesight. Now as we talk, the doctors are saying she can be put under home-based care, away from the hospital, but that discharge can only happen if Michael Kamau, the father, will be able to cover the bill of 200,000. That is why I'm coming for you on behalf of baby Becky, that if Team Bold, we can come through and converge around her so that she can be discharged from the hospital. We started this appeal yesterday in the morning around 10 a.m. As I'm talking to you, we have 91,790. We already have a deficit of 110. It is very possible. I believe it is possible. Try our level best, and those who have already promised, kindly, let's push through. 191,000. But then tukipata hiyo we are done. Tukipata hiyo we are done. So kindly share what you can get. Apart from just being the cost needed for discharge, she uses anticonvulsants, and anticonvulsants are approximately 5,000, that cost approximately 5,000 per week. So you can see how it has taken a toll on this family. Let's pray for this family. Let's support them financially so that we believe that baby Becky will be out of the hospital by next week so that she can be under home-based care. I think that will be way better, because also in terms of the cost. And thank you very much. I know I might not have responded to all the messages. Thank you very much for those who are responding. The 10 bob, the 20 bob, I've even seen 2 bob. It's not in vain. It's not in vain. Kidogo kidogo ujaza kibaba. And I know God will bless us. Now, Rigathi attended a church service in Meru today. I want us to look at some 2 scenes in that church service. This is the DP when he was called for prayers. And I've seen people saying he's pulling the same card that William Ruto pulled. He's just using the same script. This is the same script that William Ruto used when he manufactured the tribulations that we're saying between him and Uhuru Kenyatta. He decided to go to church and did all manner of scripts. In fact, he was there. He was just, he was putting it up all there. And then from there, I wanted to see a moment where Kiombiri, a junior member of parliament, broke in tears when they were praying for Rigathi. Now, these were very intentional because sometimes I try to refrain from prayers because prayers are personal, and it will be so irresponsible of me to criticize or rather to trivialize a prayer. And after that, Rigathi made a speech. Now, I've seen people compare this and what Ruto did, and I want to say with all manner of fairness. Rigathi Gachagua did not want to be a president, did not want to vie for president in 2027. All Rigathi wanted is to be a deputy president still in 2027, because if he's not a deputy president, he cannot come from a deputy president to be appointed a minister or a head of a parastatal. From deputy president, the next seat is presidency. And maybe there was, he grew a bit too fast. And he grew up on a pole, maybe things would have been better or things would have been different. But there is a difference between, the fallout between Ruto and Rigathi. To me, it's a fight between two gentlemen. If I've been following and I said, I will take time to follow bit by bit everything happening around this. The fallout between Ruto and Uhuru was orchestrated by Ruto because Ruto wanted to campaign and he needed just a platform or a narrative to build and campaign against his boss. He just needed to go against his boss. From what we are seeing now, the impeachment motion is being initiated by the president himself. So if you compare the two, you'll realize that it is Ruto chasing Rigathi. I've seen people trying to make that comparison. The same day today, Moses Wetangula was in Mwala. And just like Gladys boss Sholei, he's also coming out publicly to say that he supports the impeachment of the deputy president. I am a bit shocked. And in fact, after we are done, after Kenya Kwanza is done with what they are calling Rigathi Ouster motion, the next people that should also face impeachment are these speakers, the Speaker of the National Assembly and the Deputy Speaker. Why? The Speaker should be neutral. The Speaker should be neutral. The other day, Boss Sholei was saying, myself, I'm going to lead your impeachment and I'm going to ensure you're impeached. Today, his boss, Wetangula, is also speaking in Mwala. He's talking about that and that he supports that impeachment. Then I wonder, I just ask from the word go. The process is already a fraud.
Mumeambiwa hapa bishop wenu Kingo Wambua. Si mnamjua? Yeye amekuwa bishop wetu Bungoma for 21 years. Tukikaa na yeye na headquarter yake na kwangu nyumbani kwenye ninakaa, the difference ni kilomita 1. Tulikuwa tunatembeleana kila siku nikiwa nyumbani. Tunaketi, tunaongea. Yala alitufanyia kule, huwezi kujua si mtu alizaliwa huko. Alijenga makanisa, alijenga shule, aliunganisha watu, aliombea wagonjwa, alifanya kila kitu. Wakati alikuwa amehamishwa kuja Machakos, sisi zote kama viongozi wa Bungoma tulikusanyika katika stadium yetu ya Masinde Muliro. Tukakuwa na misa karibu 3 hours. Hawa Dr. Muhwana walileta ng'ombe, sijui hizo ng'ombe alipeleka wapi. Walileta ng'ombe, walileta wimbi, walileta kila zawadi. Na yake kanyaka Bungoma tunamkaribisha kama mtoto wetu. Na yeye sasa ndiyo bishop wenu. Nimeona jana Popa amemuongeza madaraka ingine kusimamia Machakos na wote. Mtu mzuri lazima aongezewe. Na mtu mkatili lazima apunguzwe. Sisi tukija hapa, mimi sichakuja hapa kwa sababu mimi ni Muluya. Hata sijui kwa nini Mungu alinifanya nikazaliwa Muluya. Nilijikuta tu huko. But the most important thing ni sisi ni wa Kenya. Ukiwa hapa kama wewe ni Mkenya, ukisikia mtu amepigwa risasi kule Vanga, Kwale au kule Turkana, unasikia uchungu kwa sababu ni Mkenya mwenzako. Sio vile ukisikia mtu amepigwa risasi kule China, the pain you feel is not the same pain you'd feel if you are told mtu mmoja amekanyagwa pale Chumvi amepigwa kule Garissa, kwa sababu ni Mkenya mwenzangu. Patriotic feeling. Shakespeare said, courage is not courage if you use it to hit your head against the wall. It is stupidity. Na tunataka tuwe na viongozi ambao wanajua the limit of where to go, what to say, where to say, how to say, and the impact on society. Na waomba wa Kenya, hasa viongozi, upunguze siasa ya kukata nchi yetu kikabila au kiregion. Kwa sababu katiba yetu inasema every Kenyan has a right to live on property and enjoy peace anywhere and everywhere in our country. Huo unatoka Masaku, huo unatoka Kitui, huo unatoka kule kwetu kwenye tunapenda Busu Manaingo ho, ukiwa unatoka Kisumu kwa kina Oduor, ukimpatia chakula kama hakuna samaki si chakula. Ukija hapa kwenu kama hakuna mudhokoi hakuna chakula. Lazima tujue our diversity is the source of our strength. Na ndivyo tutaishi. Na kama kuna mtu yeyote anataka kufuruka amani ya nchi, ikiwa ni mimi, nitolewe. Akiwa ni Makau, atolewe. Akiwa ni Kamene, atolewe. Ikiwa ni wewe, utolewe. Because we want peace for everybody.
Because the speaker is supposed to be a neutral arbiter to hear both sides. I want to believe that if it is taken on that Tuesday, Rigathi will have his defense lawyers. The other side will have their evidence and their case to present. Rigathi will have his defense lawyers. Now, I don't know the role of the speaker in all this that they're now coming out. In fact, them, they should also be shown the door. Before Rigathi leaves, they're the ones that should even leave first. They're supposed to be neutral. And now I was showing you those two to just realize that the same day, Kenya Kwanza MPs who normally, and I analyzed on Sundays, normally take this opportunity to talk about this impeachment, all went quiet. In fact, interestingly, even Kimani Ichung'wah here was running the same sympathy script in Kikuyu. And you can see here, everyone is playing a victim. Politics of victim. And now this tells you the way the whole situation about Rigathi Ouster is not as simple as people want to look at it. According to a report that is emerging, a meeting was held in the residence of prominent Mount Kenya MP to dissuade Mount Kenya leaders from Rigathi impeachment. MPs who are believed to be receiving bribes from the State House to impeach Rigathi are being dissuaded to think about the ramifications of that in their political careers. Ndindi Nyoro, the head of budget committee, who is believed has kept mum and has not come out publicly in support of this impeachment, is believed to be the axis around the move to deconvince Mount Kenya MPs, and that with the host of other senators, that the route of impeaching the deputy president Rigathi Gachagua is not the best option and is not going to serve the interest of Mount Kenya. And there is a question, and these are some of the 5 factors that this Ndindi Nyoro axis is now raising on the matter of Rigathi impeachment. And this is a point that I think I would really want quite a number of them to get to understand, so that we really buy in. It's not just easy. It's not just, it's easier to say, Mbaya, want to impeach him. But again, what is at stake? Let us look at these 5 factors. And these are the factors that these MPs must ask themselves, even before you take those millions. Before you are told to append that signature in some city hotel and your cash is brought to you, and you feel like you've now served the ego of the president, and you will now sit comfortable to get all manner of tenders that you want. But there are some 5 factors that must be laid on table. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. And I'm also reminding you that let's support Becky, discharge Becky from baby Becky from the hospital tomorrow ikiwezekana. The deficit is how much? 109. Yes, 109,000. And they believe that it can still be achieved. Now, according to what is here, despite of MPs and Ruto publicly pushing for Kithure Kindiki to replace Rigathi, there is no guarantee that the position of the deputy president would actually go back to Mount Kenya. And this is the factor. One of the most outstanding, the dominant charge against Rigathi is the fact that he is only pro Mount Kenya. It doesn't look at the other regions. And the people who are saying that are just lying to themselves, because the truth of the matter here is the Kenya Kwanza administration picked Ruto Rigathi ticket. Number 1 factor was based on Kalenjin Kikuyu numbers. So, if indeed you are impeaching Rigathi, because Rigathi is only a deputy president who thinks about Mount Kenya, then the next thing that then Ruto should do is to pick a running mate outside Mount Kenya. That will change many metrics, but that is not where I was heading. I was heading to this. If you kick out Rigathi Gachagua, and Rigathi Gachagua goes to the ground and galvanizes the Mount Kenya around him, then William Ruto will be left with one option: to walk out of the Mount Kenya region and think of option B. That option B would even include picking someone from Western, a Musalim Davidi, or Araila Choice, or ODM pick for the running mate. So what the analysts are telling Mount Kenya MPs is this: there is no guarantee that even if you remove Rigathi, that position will be given to Kindiki or Waiguru or anyone. Because remember, when you're removing Rigathi based on tribal connotations. And number 2, that move would actually pull the mountain from Kenya Kwanza. And if the mountain is pulled away from Kenya Kwanza, then Ruto will be left with no option but to go and pick Mudavadi or someone, or even Joe, or someone else outside Mount Kenya matrix in 2027. So all these MPs that would have thought that they're serving the interest of the mountain, that would not really bring a problem. Number 2, they would be dissuaded to avoid parliament to avoid the impeachment, because how a revolt by the Mount Kenya population would be very high if it is not well managed. If the DP, and I agree that if he's impeached, of course, number 1, those around him will move away, but you don't know how the reaction will be. That is one of the other factors, because with that, you also risk even losing your seat at the behest of serving the interest of President Ruto. If Rigathi survives the impeachment through any means, be it he successfully gets to Raila rescues him, or he's impeached and goes to court and finds his way back through the court is installed, or any other means, if Rigathi will survive impeachment and Mount Kenya MPs are not the ones that shall have maybe helped him survive, then he will emerge stronger, and that will be a problem, that will be a very good ground for him to crush those MPs. So those MPs must also be very sensitive of the fact that, how about, unless we go and he picks it, but if we go and he fails and he successfully manages to outdo and outwit Ruto in that impeachment, then the casualties will be those MPs. The last other concern, the fifth other concern is Rigathi tribal claims only sells outside Mount Kenya. If you go to Nyeri and you tell Nyerians that Rigathi only speaks about Nyeri, speaks about Mount Kenya, those residents, they don't complain. But if you go to Mombasa and says that the deputy president only speaks about Mulima, you will get some audience. So, much as you are selling that, but it doesn't have traction. And the other bit is, without a political party, UDA is dying. And at the end of it, they will not get a bargain stool. The other side of the bargain. Things are very tough. And you want to know things are very tough. Isaac Ruto, who is a member of Judicial Service Commission, is saying that it is high time we amend the constitution so that we allow the president to appoint deputy as it was before. The 2010 constitution was supposed to cure the issue of presidents abusing that privilege by just firing deputy by a gazette notice. Anti-Rigathi Mount Kenya camp are toning down because things are not boiling well. And why has Ruto kept silent about Rigathi impeachment, even though Rigathi has been taken to the street to control the narrative from the ground? Thank you.